As an aspect of God, you have infinite worth. Ivo, so many of you make the mistake that was brought to Sharon's attention just now. Her neighbor last night was upset. He said, "I feel like such a loser because I can't pay my bills." A few hours later he came over again, and he was ecstatic. He said, "I just got my check and paid all our bills off." Sharon said, "And now you feel good, don't you?" He was over the moon. That is the way they want you to work. They want you to establish your self-worth upon certain conditions, and then they make it very difficult for people to combat these conditions and win. For example, the economy has been manipulated in such a way that many are struggling even bringing in 2 paychecks. So they tend to get down on themselves for their perceived failings. In other cases, people fall ill or become amputees. Many people believe that they then are less than people, that they do not have as much to offer as someone with 2 arms and 2 legs or who has no illness or disability. Many people have a difficult time in love relationships. They struggle from one to the next, or continue to be married and divorced in succession. Others look at them and ask, what is wrong with them? How come they cannot forge a relationship with another person? Of course, the intention is that they can, and they are comparing in an area they realize they can come out smelling like a rose. This is conditional self-love. It is a precursor to conditional love of others as well, and why your divorce rates are sky high. You believe in the wrong type of self-worth, conditional self-worth. Your worth as a member of the matrix society is based upon your ability to produce money and your level of conformity. Look at how many ways you are frowned upon. Sharon went on disability and had to release the self-esteem she derived from being a contributing member of society. Your love of yourself is based upon conditions. Many of these conditions were conditions that were given to you by your parents. Sharon's mother wanted grandchildren. Well, in any case that would have been impossible because she is infertile. Sharon did not produce any children in this life. She focused entirely on what her mission was, to heal her family bloodline. I am not saying that it is not in your contract to produce children, it was simply in her contract not to produce children. Many of you have contracts that include bearing and raising children, and that is part of the reason you are here, because the first recipients of your higher light quotient will be your children. Sharon rejected her mother's rejection of her for not finding a mate and having children. Sharon also went through a process of trying to find a mate that left her feeling humiliated and intrinsically worthless, so she gave up this quest at 30 years old. Sharon has always directed herself to where her soul has led her, to a higher sense of self-worth. What you must all realize is that you all have intrinsic worth that is infinite. Simply because you are human. It is not based on anything that you do, have done, or have not done. Because you did not produce heirs for your parents does not make you valueless. Because you did not forge a career in a more esteemed line of work does not make you valueless. Because you did not make a career for yourself does not make you valueless. The work you do does not make you any less than any other soul on earth. All people on earth are equal because they are souls of God. Look at the way you compare yourself to others. Whether someone is prettier, more ripped, fatter, more rough-cut, cooler, taller, shorter, more capable, happier, sadder, angrier, richer, poorer, whatever. None of these things matter. You need to begin to look at yourself as having infinite worth. Not infinite ego, infinite worth. You need to see yourself as having respect, first of all from yourself, then demanding it of others. Those others will test your boundaries to see where there are holes. There is no such thing as a human that fails. There is no such thing as a human that wins. Only in your limited scope of perception can something be seen as a win, and that is because it is a finite issue. You were born having won already. That is the truth about winning. You already won. You are human. Remove all within yourself that you constantly batter and beat yourself up with. If it is a dislike of your nose, then understand that you chose that nose before you were born. If it is a dislike of the way you write, then either upgrade your grammar and increase your lexicon, or find other ways to express yourself that will give you self-esteem based on your conditional evaluation of yourself. Or drop your conditional evaluation of yourself entirely. Perhaps understand that you have never chosen to perfect your means of communication because what you know has been sufficient for you, and learn to accept yourself as is. There is nothing you need to do to increase your self-esteem except to remember you are part of the One, the All. That is all. Many of you experience conditional love upon yourselves because either you had overbearing caregivers who foisted their expectations of you upon you, or because you have tried to conform to your codependent society and worry about what they might think. These are all ways to move you away from your own truth, and these must be healed. When you say, I am mean, you must understand that you are lovable nonetheless. Work on being more kind, but make sure to uphold your boundaries. When you say, I think they don't like me, understand that you are looking into the mirror of life, and there is something about the way you are relating to them that makes you feel insecure about yourself. When you say, I should do this because everyone else does it, you have fully bought into the Matrix plan to make you subservient, and you use others' behavior as a means of ruling how you should behave. These are all folly. There is nothing wrong with you. You are simply experiencing a physical existence in order to learn. If all students are flawed and bad because they are in school, then this does not say much for any of you, because you have all been in school at some time or another. Stop using conditions to rate yourself. You are intrinsically beautiful and special. Me, thank you, Ivo. Ivo, it is true, my love. Humans in the galaxy do not find themselves lacking or insufficient. They do not focus on what they consider to be their shortcomings or their flaws because they accept themselves as they are. This is self-love at its best. Do not base your self-esteem on what you do, base it upon who you are.